Hello everyone, my name is Hannah. Welcome to a new video. Today's video is just going to be kind of a chatty video where I update you on what I've been reading and just some like life things. I haven't been vlogging for the start of the year, which is odd for me, so I just figured we'd do a little catch up. So it's gonna be a chatty one, so grab coffee, grab a snack, get cozy, and let's just get right into the video. So yeah, like I said, I haven't been vlogging. I've just been a little discouraged about my YouTube channel as of late, and I feel like that has become a pattern for me where I really enjoy it and I'm making content and then I get discouraged and I'm like, I should just quit. I made a change to my channel towards the end of last year, and I changed my channel name and I started coming out with like other content that wasn't specifically bookish. I mean specifically about my pregnancy, because I was really excited to make that content. So I totally understand that not everybody is here for that kind of content, and so they left, they unsubscribed, and my views have gone down by like half. And I've lost like hundreds of subscribers, which I kind of figured I would, because like I started out as a booktube channel and I still make book content and stuff, but yeah, if you're not here for that, it can be kind of like frustrating when you're like, I didn't sign up for this, so I'm gonna go. Because I know even when I have people that I've subscribed to and they start like posting stuff out of their norm, I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I don't really care about that. I want to just know what you think about books. So I understand it, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it like still kind of stings that I've just like, my views have tanked, my subscribers, I'm like losing them left and right. As soon as I post a video, I lose like way more subscribers, and usually it's the opposite. You like gain more the more you post. But anyways, it's just been discouraging, even though I understand it. I totally get it. And two, like, I kind of expected it, but it still is discouraging. So anyways, I haven't been filming vlogs or like vlog clips because I've just been like, you know, I put in all this work and people just like leave. So vlogs are my favorite to film though, so I'll definitely still like keep vlogging, so don't worry. But I just wanted to film this like chatty update because I think it's gonna be a longish update, and so it's like, I don't want to include that in a vlog if it's gonna be like 20 minutes of me just talking. I mean, I could, but I'm not gonna do that. So anyways, I figured I would share the books that I have read so far this year and some of my goals for the year and stuff, and just, yeah, like I said, a chatty little update. So my first book read of the year was What to Expect When You're Expecting by Heidi Murkoff. So like I said, I'm pregnant. I'm currently 35 weeks, so I'm nearing the end here. I can see the finish line, and yeah, I have been reading this throughout my whole pregnancy. I finished that, so technically this was my first book read of 2025, which is kind of funny. Then I finished reading Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. So I started this last year, and I just hadn't been able to finish it in time for the year, like to end. So I finished this one. I'm not sure like how much I had left. I think it was maybe like 150 pages left of it or something. So I finished that up. Really enjoying Brandon Sanderson's writing. I am super excited to have like all of his backlist basically to read. I'm enjoying the Mistborn series. I think this is a solid start to a new trilogy, and I'm really excited to see where the story is going to go. I really like the main character. Yeah, it's a good time. The magic system is super interesting, and yeah, I just really enjoyed this one. The last part of this, wild, as per usual with Brandon Sanderson. Then I read The Sword of Kaigen by M.L. Wong. This was supposed to be, I had intended to be, my first read of 2025, but yeah, I was finishing books I was currently reading, so this was the first book I read in its entirety in 2025. Most of my friends who have read this, I shouldn't say most of, all of my friends who have read this have given this 5 stars and said that it's like an amazing fantasy. It like changed their lives. It's like one of the best books they've ever read. And so I went in with super high expectations for this one. It was a 5-star prediction. This is a fantasy kind of standalone that is set in an Asian inspired world called Kaigen. Or Theonite, I guess, is maybe the world, and like Kaigen is the empire that they live in. and it's following two characters mainly. Masaki, who is a mother who used to be this like really good fighter, and in Kaigen, their women are not allowed to be fighters. They're just supposed to be like mothers and wives, and that's what they're supposed to do with their lives. So she kind of had to put away her passion for like being a warrior basically to become a wife and mother. And then you're also following the point of view of her 14-year-old son Mamoru, and Mamoru has like this kind of destiny that he's got to fulfill basically, where the family that he is a part of is like one of the best like fighter families in the whole empire, and he's got a lot of like expectations, and he goes to the special school and stuff, and there's elemental magic, there's corrupt government. I did really enjoy the first part of this book. I would say maybe the first like 300 pages. And then after the halfway point, I started to take issue with certain things and lose interest a little bit, which is unfortunate because the parts of this book that I liked, I really liked. Like, I was really enjoying it. I really like ML Wong's writing, especially how she writes like action scenes. Like the battle in this was so intense and I was on the edge of my seat. I couldn't put it down. It was so good. But yeah, there were just a few things that I started to take issue with. So this ended up being a 3-star for me, which I'm sad about because it's never fun to have like all of your friends absolutely love a book and then you're the one that's like, I didn't absolutely love it. I did also like start annotating it. I mean, I completely annotated it. You can see though, like the first half of the book, you can see how much more tabs there are, and then the second half of the book there's way less, just because my enjoyment was more weighted to the first half of the book. So that's the Sword of Kaigen. And then I also read Adrift in Currents Clean and Clear by Shauna McGuire, which I believe is the 10th installment in the Wayward Children series, or is it the 9th? It's the 10th. Which I have been reading the Wayward Children series since the first book was released, and so every year in January it's like kind of a tradition for me to pick up the new Wayward Children's book. So this was following Nadia, and I really liked Nadia's character, so I was really interested to see her like world. This series is basically all about these children who find these doorways to other magical lands, kind of like Narnia or Alice in Wonderland, like in that theme, but it's a world in which like they find it to be like perfect. So there's like a candy world, and this world was all about like, it was like the drowned world. It was like turtles and living in water and stuff. There's like mermaid world, there was a horse world. My favorite one was called the Goblin Market. Yeah, it was kind of like a tradition to pick up the new Wayward Children's book when it's released in January. So I picked that one up. I don't have the physical copy of it. I listened to the audio and I really liked the audio. But yeah, I just like, this one was just like, yeah, it was good. It was fine. I don't really have any like intense thoughts either way on this one. So those are the 4 books that I have started the year with. Next up for me, I will be picking up Kingdom of Claw by Demi Winters. This is the second book to The Road of Bones, which I read last year and really loved. And I've had this one for months and months, and since I'm in a fantasy reading mood, I just figured, you know what, it's time. I should pick it up. It's like a Viking fantasy. I really like the main character. I had a really good time with the first book, so I'm excited to pick this one up. And then coming on down, Oathbringer. Look at how thick this baby is. I am dying to get back in this world with these characters. I absolutely love the Stormlight Archive, and I'm just so excited to get back to it. So I'll be picking this one up again very soon. So those are basically my reading updates. Other life updates, I've mentioned several times now that I'm 35 weeks pregnant, so coming around the corner here to the finish line. I've got my hospital bag packed. We finally got our daycare sorted, and we have a spot for daycare when we'll need it in the fall. I finalized my birth plan. I am like pretty much as ready as one can be for this major event that's going to happen. And I am treating it like an event, like a big race that I'm training for, you know, like a marathon. So I have that like excited anticipation. I've got the nursery all ready. I'm just like really ready. So It won't be long now, and baby boy is measuring a little bit bigger than what my time says, so he could really come kind of at any time. So I had to be ready. I'm ready. And who knows what life is going to look like after that. Other than that, I kind of wanted to just talk about my goals for 2025. I was talking about like goal setting with my friend Kara from Kara's Bookshelf. So she made a whole video about like her goal setting and her process for that and like how she uses Notion. And it's just like, it's an incredible video. It like scratched my brain in the best way possible. So I'll leave that video linked down below if you want to go check that out. I have kind of two themes of goals for myself this year. So the first one being like bookish goals, and then also obviously personal goals. As far as my bookish goals, for my channel, I have no goals. I have no goals for my channel. I feel like goals can put a lot of pressure on making videos and stuff, and it takes away a lot of the fun of it. So like I don't have a subscriber goal, especially since I'm like losing subscribers left and right. Yeah, I don't want to like set a goal and then be devastated when I don't reach it. Mostly I just want to focus on like making videos that I enjoy making and like putting them out there and not having really any expectations, like if I'm gonna get a certain amount of views or if people are gonna like it. Like hopefully you do. If you don't, okay, that's cool too, because like I don't want to put any expectations that are out of my control on my channel, you know? As far as my reading goals for the year, I have significantly lowered my reading goal. I used to, back in the day, put my reading goal at, or like my Goodreads challenge goal at 52 books because I thought, you know, 52 weeks in a year, I can read a book a week and that's good. I've met that goal pretty much every time I had it set there, and then I started reading way more. It was like over 100 books a year. So I started setting my goal at 100 books. Last year, I went through the ringer quite a bit and had lots of major things happen in the year that really affected my reading. There were several months last year where I read absolutely nothing. And so I read way less than what I normally do. Probably like 100 books less than what I have in years previous. And this year, I'm gonna have a baby. So I don't know what life is gonna look like. I don't know how much time I'm gonna have to read, and like, yeah, I don't know. So I'm setting it fairly low, and hopefully I can achieve this goal. If not, I mean, it is what it is. But I'm setting my reading challenge goal at 25 books. So that is, yeah, like the lowest that I've ever had it before. But it seems reasonable to me, and like with all that's going to be going on this year, I feel like I can achieve it. Especially since I've already read 4 books so far this year, and I plan on reading at least like 2 or 3 more before the baby comes. But yeah, who knows what 2025 is going to look like. So 25 books is the goal for this year. I also want to continue to mood read. And by that, I mean mood read like picking up books that I'm in the mood for. Like I'm in a fantasy reading mood, so I want to pick up fantasies. But also mood reading in the sense that if I want to read when I'm in the mood to read, to physically read. Like if I'm not feeling like reading, I'm not going to force myself to read. I want to continue to do that for 2025. And then of course, 2025 for me is the year of the Cosmere. I want to read tons of Brandon Sanderson if I can. I'm just having a really good time with it. So I want to pick up lots of different Brandon Sanderson books. I don't think I'll be able to read his whole backlist this year, but I want to make some progress in it because I'm having a fun time. It's just great to be a Brandon Sanderson girly. So if you are looking for a guide to Brandon Sanderson books, because I know it can be kind of daunting because of how many books he has out and how many different series, and like some of them are connected and it's a lot of information. Again, my friend Kara, what a queen. She has a guide to all of Brandon Sanderson's books and recommended reading orders and stuff like that. So I'll leave that linked down below as well. Shout out to Kara for basically just making the content that I live for. So yeah, those are my book related goals. As far as personal goals, would love to just survive the year. That's goal number one. But I also am going to focus more on like slow living in 2025, like be more intentional about how I spend my time, who I spend my time with, what I spend my time doing. I just really want to slow down. I feel like I have been in this like race for some reason over the last like several years where it's like I feel like I'm constantly going and constantly doing stuff and making plans and getting burnt out from stuff, and I just want to sit back and relax a little bit and take my time and enjoy my life. I'm gonna embrace being an introvert and not make so many plans that tend to burn me out. Like, obviously I still want to hang out with my friends, but I don't need to have plans every weekend or during weekdays when I am working full-time and tired at the end of the day. I just want to focus on what really truly matters to me, and that is my like little family that I'm starting here, me and Brandon, our little baby that's gonna be coming. I know I keep bringing it up, but like obviously that is a major part of my life now. So I just want to slow down and not feel like life is a competition or like I need to be like hustling constantly, you know? So slow living, intentional decisions on stuff like that, spending less time on my phone, especially Instagram. I wasted so much time on Instagram and it is not good for my little noggin. I definitely see the correlation between when I spend lots and lots of time on Instagram and like what my mood is like after that. I just feel like worse about myself, not necessarily even like comparing myself to others. Sometimes it's that, but like, I don't know. It just does not make me feel good. So I ended up setting a time limit on that app, and I had it at 30 minutes a day because prior to me setting this time limit, it was like several hours a day, which like what a waste of time. Like what else? I could have been doing so many other things. So yeah, less screen time in general, but I ended up moving the time limit down to even 20 minutes a day on Instagram. And since I've done that, I haven't like reached the point where it has to notify me and be like, your time limit was reached. So I end up spending less than 20 minutes a day, which is helpful to me. I've noticed a difference. Less screen time in 2025. And then my last like personal goal for this year is about money. So I want to do a low buy year, which I feel like is like trending right now, which is kind of funny because I was like, you know what? I need to focus on my finances a little more in 2025. And then I started seeing all of this stuff about no buy years or low buy years, and it's like under consumption is like trending. It's like a whole thing, and I was like, oh, I didn't even know. Like maybe subconsciously I had seen it or something, and that I don't know, but it just I kind of was like, oh, I guess I'm a part of this now. But yeah, if you don't know, a low buy year is when you don't buy as much as you used to. You focus on what you're spending your money on. With the cost of daycare coming up in the fall for us, I am fortunate enough because I'm a teacher that I've been saving my days since I started teaching, so that I have like a decent paid maternity leave. I do still have to take a small pay cut to get to the full 12 weeks because I didn't have 12 weeks of time saved up. And then that brings me very close to the end of the school year. Plus Brandon has some time off, plus my mom has like some time off, so we don't have to start our daycare until the school year starts in September because I'll have summer break off. So I'm very, very fortunate in that I don't have to start daycare for like the first 6 months of my baby's life, which is actually incredible. I am so fortunate for that. But yeah, daycare is not cheap. It is one of the most expensive things. It is ridiculous. We have a spot for our daycare. It was such a tough task to find daycares that have a spot available for infants. Like if you have a kid under 2 and you're trying to find daycare, my heart goes out to you because it is not an easy task. There is like, they charge you more if your kid is under 2. They limit spots like a lot, and there's wait lists. You could be on a waiting list for months and months. One lady I called last September 2024, and said, I don't need daycare until September 2025, a full year later. And she laughed at me and was like, you're not calling ahead enough. And I was like, what if I had just found out I was pregnant? Like less than 9 months, and they're like, nope, you can't get a spot. Like, ridiculous. Anyways, it's incredibly expensive. It's like almost a second mortgage for us. I think it's like $150 cheaper than what our monthly mortgage payment is to pay for daycare each month, which is an insane expense. So I really need to focus on being able to pay all my bills. And that means that some things I'm not gonna be able to just like make purchases willy-nilly anymore. So I have like a list of rules of what I'm like allowed to buy. Obviously like all essentials, like any bills, my mortgage can be paid, groceries can be paid, but like I'm only giving myself like a little bit of like fun money each month where I can spend it like to treat myself. I am 100% one of those people that is like, treat yourself for like any inconvenience. Oh, I was tired today, I'm gonna treat myself. I need a little treat. So yeah, hopefully we can stick to a low buy year, and I feel like I'm content with the things that I have, and I don't need new clothes. I don't need any new books until I finish my physical TBR, and then I have some like gift cards that I can use, so it's not like, you know, paycheck money that's going to buy books. Plus I have this like allotted treat yourself like cookie money each month if I wanted to use it for that. But yeah, just really like focusing on what I spend my money on instead of not really having, you know, not really thinking too much about it. And again, that's not to say that I'm not going to like do anything. Like I'm still gonna like have fun and be able to do things, but yeah, I just need to be more intentional again about my purchases. So that's like the theme of 2025. It's just to be more intentional about like everything. So yeah, that is my chatty little catch up with you all, my little life updates and what I've been reading, what my goals are for the year. Let me know what books you've been reading so far, what you're currently reading. Let me know what your 2025 goals are. I'm feeling like really motivated and really good about 2025, which is good because you never want to go into a year like dreading it. But yeah, I'm feeling good. So I hope you are too. I hope 2025 is a wonderful year for us all, and thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate all of your support, and especially if you comment. Literally, what a lifeline. It's just so nice to see people comment. So if you want to leave a comment down below and let me know how you're doing, and if you don't know what to comment but you want to leave a comment, you can just leave the calendar emoji down in the comments down below. And thank you again so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye!